Good evening and welcome back. This is my Fallout 4 weapon showcase, updated. There were some weapons that I had that I did not include in the last video, so I will be including those weapons in this video in addition to the ones I covered previously. So, let's get started. Here is the 10mm pistol. As you pick up one of these when you first start the game after you thaw out of cryostasis. You don't get one right away. You'll find your first 10mm pistol in the overseer's office. I modded this one up to look like the 10mm pistol from Fallout 3 and Fallout New Vegas. One difference there is that it's got a muzzle brake on the end. It's a good all-around solid weapon, reliable. Kind of hard to get ammunition for it. When I first started playing, I would use this one instead of the pipe pistol, and I would find myself running out of 10mm rounds because they're not as common as other ammunitions like the 38s or the 308 rounds are. So definitely want to take the scavenger perk if you want a 10 mil to be your best sidearm. Scavenger perk helps you find more ammunition in containers. This is the unique 2076 World Series baseball bat with the aluminum cover mod and a heated coil mod. This particular weapon this particular bat is as I said, it's a unique, and it's in the base game. The heated coil mod is from the Nuka World DLC. Prior to that, there were some mods for it. You could put razor blades on it, you could put nails on it, but there weren't any mods like this one. Pretty interesting mod, actually. It looks kind of cool. Here is the handmade rifle. This is a weapon from the Nuka World DLC. I modded it up and renamed it the AK-47 assault rifle because that's kind of what it looks like. It looks like an AK-47. It's a really good weapon. It's a really solid weapon. I like it. I like it a lot. It's a really awesome weapon. I always like assault rifles in first-person shooters. They're one of my favorite kinds of weapons. Only problem is that one of the issues that I've seen, at least, and I'm pretty sure others have seen it as well, is that you don't find the ammunition for this in containers in Nuka World. You have to buy them from the vendors, and that the amounts are just ridiculous. So I'm hoping they release a patch that adds the 7.62 ammunition round to the Nuka World loot table, so you can start finding it in containers and stuff. It's kind of silly that you can only get that ammunition from vendors. This is a compact version of the AK-47. Again, it's a reliably solid weapon. I like it a lot. Here is an AK-47 sniper variant. It's basically an AK-47 with a sniper barrel and stock and a sniper scope on it, for when you want to reach out and touch someone at long distance. This is the Mr. Handy Saw. This is a weapon from the Automatron DLC. I renamed it Auto Axe. and sort of reminiscent. It's not exactly reminiscent, but it kind of reminded me of the auto axe weapon from the Pit DLC for Fallout 3. It's basically a buzzsaw from a Mr. Handy. Really good weapon. You can get this weapon from the Rust Devils. They carry this weapon. It's a really good weapon. Like it a lot. I use this with power armor because it's a two-handed weapon. A lot of weapons in this game that are two-handed I only use with the power armor. It's a roleplay choice I made. Really good weapon. I like it. Here is a barbed walking cane. Because why not? Big Jim. This is a unique pipe wrench. It has a rail spike mod so you can stab people with it, as well as bludgeon them with it. So it kind of serves a dual purpose. Bludgeon with one side, stab with the other. Why not? Next up is a aluminum swatter, bladed aluminum swatter. It's got a bladed mod on it, and it has an aluminum mod on it. Kind of reminds me of the Psycho buzzsaw axes from Borderlands. Bladed board. Some super mutants will carry a board with a bladed mod on it. It's basically a buzzsaw blade embedded in the board. That's a super mutant weapon. Bladed knuckles. These kind of remind me of, after I put these blades on these knuckles, it kind of reminded me of the Wolverine. Because that's kind of what it looks like. Wolverine's claws. Alien Blaster, renamed Blaster Pistol, because I felt like it. This is a unique weapon that you get from a unique event. There is a relay tower down by the city, and after a specific point in the game, you go to the radio tower, and you will, when you activate it, you'll find an unknown signal on the terminal, and you'll tune that signal in on your Pip-Boy, and if you follow it, you'll find an alien crash site, and near that crash site is a trail of blood. You follow it to a cave, and inside that cave is an alien. Kind of looks like the I'm not sure if it's the exact same type, but it kind of looks like the aliens from the Mothership Zeta DLC. And of course, he'll be carrying this weapon. So after you kill him, you can take this weapon. One thing though is that when you get to a high enough science level, mod the receiver, because when you mod the receiver, that changes the ammunition type. So instead of it using alien power cells, it'll use fusion cells, which you can find all over the place. Alien power cells you can't. There's one spot that you get, and those are from the alien. Once those are all spent, that's it. There's no more in the game, at least that I'm aware of. This is the Blazing Katana. The original name was Shish Kebab. I got this from a raider boss over at the Saugus Ironworks. And since there was a system in the game that allowed you to rename weapons, I looked at this and I thought, you know what? I'm going to give this a unique name. I'm going to call it the Blazing Katana, because that's basically what it is. If you take away the fire components, everything that's on it, it's actually a katana sword. It's a really cool weapon. I like it. I like swords. Bloodletter. This is a unique fishing pole from the Far Harbor DLC. It originally had only, I think, one hook on it. This mod adds 3 extra hooks to it. Why not? You can actually get this from... I can't remember. I think this might have been sold by one of the vendors in Far Harbor, or if you picked this up from some specific place. I don't remember exactly. Boxing glove for when you want to put someone's lights out. Broadsider. this is a unique weapon you get from a loony sentry bot aboard an ancient seafaring vessel that had rocket jets attached to it. The USS Constitution, I believe, is the name. It fires cannonballs, because why not? This is a weapon that I only use with power armor because of its size. It's huge. It's a two-handed. It's a huge, bulky weapon. Kind of silly, actually. Saw a picture of this, and I saw this on a loading screen. I was like, "What is that? Is that a cannon?" Some of the weapons are just really silly looking. Here's a Chinese shock sword. This is a Chinese officer sword with an electric serrated blade mod attached to it. It's good against machines. This was a minigun. I wanted to give it a unique name, so I called it the Chopper. That way I could pull it out and yell, "Say hello to my little friend, and his name is Chopper." That's basically what it does. Chops people into bits. Little itty bitty bits. Combat shotgun. This is a combat shotgun. I found this on. I either got this off of a booby trap, or I got it off of a raider or gunner. I forget where. And I modded it up to look like the combat rifle, the combat shotgun in Fallout 3. One big difference between the way this one looks and the way the combat shotgun looks in Fallout 3 is that the drum magazine is further up near the muzzle. It's further up the body. It's not in line with the receiver where it's supposed to be. It's a really good weapon. I like shotguns. They're awesome. Really good at putting a guy down and making sure it stays down. Or he stays down, rather. This is the Cryolator. This is another weapon. This is another energy weapon. This one actually... It's interesting how you get this one. This one is originally locked behind a master level lock in Vault 111 early on in the game. And because your lockpick skills are so low, you can't get it. But there's a trick. Once you find dog meat at the Red Rocket gas station, you take him back to Vault 111 and you take him to the case where this weapon is stored. You tell him to find weapons and ammunition, and he will, through the master lock, pull this weapon out. So he'll not only get this weapon for you and the ammunition for it, but he'll get it and you won't have to worry about coming back for it later. Interesting little bit of a trivia piece here, but the Cryolator was originally supposed to be in Fallout 3, and it was supposed to be a craftable weapon like the bottle cap mines and the shish kebab were. But it was cut from the game, and the reason why it was cut from the game was because it was causing the game to crash. So they took out all of the pieces that were associated with it, except for the crutches. The crutches were used for uh, other weapon crafting recipes. Deathclaw Gauntlet. It originally started out with 2 claws, and when you mod it up, you add a 3rd claw to it for extra ripping power. Mean looking. December's Child. This is a unique combat rifle from the Far Harbor DLC. When I found it, it had a short stock and barrel, and so I modded it up, put an extra long magazine on it. It's a pretty good weapon, actually. Funny thing about this is that this particular weapon is the only combat rifle in the game that has a fully automatic 5.56 receiver. All of the other receivers will either take 38s or 308s, and they're semi-auto. All of the standard combat rifle receivers are 45 caliber. So, and it's also lighter, and it has a 15% faster reload speed. So, I like it. It's a good rifle. Double barrel shotgun. This started out as a short double barrel shotgun, and I modded it up with an extra long stock and barrel, and I stuck a muzzle brake on it. Double the stopping power. Electrified Assaultron Blade. This is another weapon from the Automatron DLC. This is basically a sword, but the blade of it, the blade on it, actually comes from an Assaultron. I guess the blade is one of the primary weapons on Assaultrons. I don't see the Assaultrons using this particular weapon against me very much, because they end up standing at a distance and shoot me with their mono laser. So I like this sword. I like it a lot. An electrified revolutionary sword. This is basically a Civil War era sword, I think, with a shock mod a shock mod on it. It's good against It's good against robots. The Fat Man, a man-portable nuclear catapult. That is a nuclear warhead there, and it's the size of a football. It is used by both your character as well as hostile NPCs. When you hear that whistling sound, you better take cover. This is another weapon I have assigned for as a power armor only weapon for roleplay reasons. But then again, I don't like to use it very much, so there you go. Frag grenade. Forgot to put this away. Frag mine. Forgot to put that away. Gamma gun. This is a weapon that is primarily used by the Children of Atom. They're a hostile faction here in the Commonwealth. They worship radiation for some strange reason. The damage on this is pretty bad. I mean, when you see a glob of green energy flying at you, you will know that it is either a plasma weapon or it is a gamma gun. the radiation damage is pretty substantial. Make sure you're packing along a lot of Rad-X and Radaway. Gatling laser. For putting multiple beams of deadly energy downrange at the drop of a hat. Also assigned for power armor usage for roleplay reasons. Can't think of a good name for this one either. Or actually, I've never been able to come up with a good name for this. Gauss rifle. This is a really different looking Gauss rifle from the Gauss rifle in Fallout 3. Now it has a little display on the back that lets you know when the shot is fully charged, and you can fire it. That is a suppressor on the end. I did not know you could do that. I did not yet know you could suppress a Gauss rifle. It's so silly. First time I saw this, I was laughing my butt off. General Chao's Revenge. This is a unique Chinese officer sword with an electrified serrated blade mod on it. I think you buy this from a vendor, either over at Bunker Hill or in Diamond City, I forget where. Good against robots. Good intentions. This is a unique laser rifle. I forget exactly where this comes from. Either it's a quest reward or it's something you find locked away somewhere. Put an automatic barrel on it. I like my unique weapons all to have unique appearances. Sets them apart from regular laser rifles. Grognak's Axe. This is a two-handed melee weapon that I only use with power armor. It is a unique weapon that is found in the Huber's comics in the city. It cannot be modded, unfortunately. That's the sad thing. I was hoping you could add some kind of an electrified or a heated element to it to give more damage, but you can't. That's sad. Missed opportunity. Oh well. Harpoon gun. This is a heavy weapon from the Far Harbor DLC. It fires harpoons. Funny thing about the harpoons is that some of the not only will you find this weapon for sale at some of the vendors in Far Harbor, but you will also encounter trappers that also use it. And the funny thing is that if they shoot you with it, it goes right into your ammo inventory. I couldn't make that up if I tried. That was actually happening. As I was shot with these, there were little notifications popping in the corner saying harpoon added. Harpoon added. I was like, okay, cool dudes. Keep shooting them at me. You can also mod it to fire different types of harpoon ammunition. I forget what the different versions are. Heated Power Fist. Nice weapon. I like power fists. Those are unarmed weapon. Those are unarmed weapons. I'm not much of an unarmed user, but it's not going to stop me from collecting them. heavy pipe wrench. This is a pipe wrench with extra heavy mod on it. Basically, they're really heavy gears. Good for bashing heads in. Now this is, I made this, I built this for power armor usage if I wanted to go out in my power armor and sit back and snipe. It's basically a heavily modified assault rifle, renamed heavy sniper rifle. Again, because of the size and the weight of it, I only use it with power armor. Homemade assault rifle. This originally started out as an automatic pipe pistol, but I modded it up because I needed a good, reliable automatic weapon early on, and I didn't really have one. Didn't feel that an automatic pipe pistol had enough punch, so modded it up, turned it into a rifle. Hunting rifle. Not much to say about this. It's good for long-range shooting. Promoting open-mindedness, one bullet at a time. Institute pistol. Institute weapons are carried by synths. Interesting things about the laser weapons in this game, particularly plasma and lasers, is that the rifles are made from pistols. So, you can take a pistol, you can mod it into a rifle. Good weapons. Institute rifle. This originally started out as a pistol. All of the laser and institute rifles all use fusion cells. Laser pistols in Fallout 3 and New Vegas, if I remember correctly, used a different type of ammunition. It was called a microfusion cell. But these use full-size fusion cells for the ammunition. This is an institute laser rifle with a scatter gun, a beam splitter muzzle mod. Why not? I wanted one, so I made one. Junk jet. This is a unique weapon. You find it in the ArcJet Labs. This is sort of an updated version of the rocket launcher from Fallout 3. The rocket launcher was a craftable weapon, and you could fire junk out of it. You could do the same. You could do the same thing here. You can load it up with junk, and you can shoot it at people. Pretty cool. This is another one of those big bulky weapons that I only use with power armor. This is a combat knife that I modified and renamed K-Bar. I actually looked up the K-Bar on the internet, and the K-Bar kind of looks like the combat knife from Fallout 3, so from Fallout 4. So I figured, why not call it a K-Bar. Kellogg's pistol. This is a unique 44 Magnum revolver. I took this off of Kellogg's dead corpse after I killed him. It refills your action points on a critical hit. It originally had a bow barrel on it, but I took the bow barrel off because I didn't really care for it and put a regular barrel on it. All of the Magnum revolvers in this game are semi-automatic, which means the bullets fire with each pull of the trigger. You can't pull the trigger and fire it repeatedly. You have to cock the hammer with every shot. So it's a single shot. It's not semi-automatic. Sorry. This is Krim's Tooth. It's basically a unique machete. You find this. It's interesting how you find this. There is a location called the Dunwich Borers, and at the bottom of the mine shaft that's underneath that area, there is a deep well, and halfway towards the bottom of that well, there is a side room. It's filled with water, and in that side room is this weapon, along with 2 mini nukes. So, it's targets bleed and are poisoned. Exceptional damage. Yeah, it's a good weapon. I like it. Large meat hook. This is another weapon from the Far Harbor DLC. It's basically a meat hook. Started out with 2 hooks. I modded it up and it added a 3rd hook to it for extra damage. Was it 1 or 2 hooks? I don't remember which. I think it might have actually been 2 hooks. Started out with 1 hook and then I added 2 more hooks to it, so oh well. Laser musket. This is a laser weapon that you get when you get to Concord. Basically reload it by turning the crank right there. For some inexplicable reason, the muzzle mods for this weapon disappeared from the weapon bench. So if you find a laser musket out there in the wilds and you take it back to the weapon bench and you want to put a muzzle mod on it, it's not going to have it listed. So I'm hoping that Bethesda will release a patch that will address that issue. Laser pistol. Good place to find laser pistols would either be from vendors or gunners. Gunners you'll probably most likely find a great deal of energy weapons from, as well as combat armor, so there you go. Laser rifle. This originally started out as a laser pistol, and then I modded it up into a rifle. I changed its look so that it looks really different from its Fallout 3 and Fallout New Vegas incarnations. It's got a different type of buttstock on it. It's got a beam focuser and a reflex sight on it. Good weapons. I like laser rifles. This is a laser scatter gun. This is a laser musket with a beam splitter mod on it. Because why not? I like splitters. More power. Laser sniper rifle. This is a laser rifle with a sniper barrel on it. Funny thing about the laser snipers is that as opposed to the regular laser rifles, laser sniper rifles have fewer shots than a regular laser rifle. Lewis light machine gun. That's basically what the assault rifle looks like. The assault rifle basically looks like a Lewis LMG. So after I modded it up, that's the name I gave it. I like naming my weapons after World War II weapons. Pretty cool. I like it a lot. Light machine gun. Oh, this weapon I only use with power armor. I have a shorter version of that weapon that I use with my character outside of power armor. I may actually just assign both this weapon and the Lewis one for usage with my power armor. It's a good weapon. I like it a lot. MP507. This is a modded up, renamed radium rifle from the Far Harbor DLC. I actually looked the radium rifle up online, and I found a German, I think it was a submachine gun type weapon that closely resembled the radium rifle, and the weapon was called an MP507. So I figured, okay, I'll go ahead and call it an MP507. Good rifle. Machete with a serrated blade mod on it. It's a good melee weapon. Does decent damage. Missile launcher. Yes, missile launchers. Not much to say. The stabilizer mod on it kind of makes it look like the rocket launcher from Fallout 3 in New Vegas. Good solid ordnance for when you want to blow something up. Molotov cocktail. Forgot to give that to Ada. Multi-beam laser rifle. Now, I wanted to try and make a, I wanted to try and model laser rifle up to look like the tri-beam laser rifle from Fallout 3 in New Vegas. But the problem here is that the beam splitter, as you can see, goes 5 ways instead of 3, which is what the tri-beam laser rifle was called. So I couldn't very well, with those 5 barrels there in the splitter, I couldn't very well call it tri-beam, so I ended up having to call it a multi-beam. It's a good weapon. I like laser rifles. Napalmer. This originally started out as a flamer that I got from the raider boss in Saga's Ironworks. I changed out the tank, replaced it. I modded the tank, put a napalm tank on it, and when it did that, the name changed to Napalm Flamer or something like that. So I said, you know what, just call it the Napalmer. This is another weapon I only use with power armor. Old Faithful. This is a unique laser rifle. I don't remember exactly where I got it from. It was a reward of some kind for some quest. I'll have to figure out where I got this from. Pipe bolt action pistol. You can find this everywhere. Vendors have it. You can find it as random loot. Or you can find raiders using it. Pipe pistol. Again, like the pipe bolt action pistol, you can find this as loot. Sold by vendors. Or you can get it off of raiders. Or scavengers. Pipe revolver. Same as the pipe pistols. Random loot. Vendors carry them. Or you can get them off of the corpses of dead scavengers and raiders. The shooting mechanic is kind of the same thing as the 45 pistol. You have to cock the hammer with every shot. pipe submachine gun. This was modified from an automatic pipe pistol. Plasma pistol. You can get these off of gunners, or you can get them from vendors. Plasma rifle. I wanted to try and put a barrel on it that looked like the barrel from Fallout 3, but I didn't have very much luck. This barrel is pretty good. Does the trick, so I can't complain. Plasma sniper, because why not? Kind of looks cool. Plasma thrower. That's basically a flamer barrel on the end there. You can spray down your enemies with heated plasma. Turn them into goop. Prototype UP-77 Limitless Potential. This is a unique laser sniper rifle that I found in a bank vault at, was it University Point? I think that was it, University Point. Basically, you'll never run out of ammunition for it. At least not for a while. Puncturing pole hook. This is a weapon from the Far Harbor DLC. I put a puncturing mod on it, which adds 3 more hooks to it. Railway rifle. This is another weapon that was originally a craftable weapon in Fallout 3. It fires rail spikes. It's the kind of it's a spike that you use to nail down railroad tracks. Good weapon. I like it. Reba 2. This is a unique hunting rifle that I got from an old guy living out by the Salem Witch Trials Museum. I basically had to help him clear the town out clear the town of Mirelurks. And when he gave me that, and the reward for it was this unique hunting rifle. I modded it up to set it apart from the regular hunting rifle. Oops. Righteous Authority. This is a unique laser rifle that I got from Paladin Dance for completing the quest at the oh gosh, the ArcJet Labs. Good weapon. I actually used this quite a bit after I got it. This is the Ripper. It looks a little different from the version in Fallout 3 in New Vegas. It had a shorter blade on it, but I put an extended blade on it. Really good weapon. Rockville Slugger. It's got an aluminum cover on it, and it's got a barbed wire mod on it for extra damage. Smith & Wesson 44 Magnum. It's good solid pistol. I like it a lot. Salvaged Assaultron head. This is basically the severed head of an Assaultron, modified to function as a pistol. It can't be modded, so there's that. Sawed-off shotgun, because why not? There were sawed-off shotguns in Fallout 3 and Fallout New Vegas. Fallout 4 wouldn't feel right without the sawed-off shotgun. This is a shocking puncturing aluminum rocket bat. This is a standard baseball bat from the base game. The mods on it are from the Nuka World DLC. I haven't tried this out yet, so I'm willing to bet the damage is deadly. Here's a silver submachine gun. This is a unique submachine gun. This is found in the Hubris comic store in Boston. It has a silver sheen to it. So, and the forestock, the grip, and the buttstock are all a darker shade of, are all a dark brown. Good weapon. I like this type of submachine gun. Sledgehammer. This is another two-handed weapon that I only use with power armor. The original head on it was pretty small, so I stuck a larger one on it because why not? I like it. Sniper rifle. This is a modded combat rifle. Modded up to serve as sort of a sniper rifle. It actually is more. This particular type of sniper rifle is actually a lot steadier than the hunting rifle. When you're using the hunting rifle, it's just wobbling all over the place. But with this one, because of the recoil compensating stock, I suspect it's a lot more stable. A Spec Ops 10mm pistol for modded for stealth. Spec Ops combat rifle, modded up for the same things that the Spec Ops 10mm pistol was modded for stealth jobs. Spec Ops combat shotgun for stealth kills. Spec Ops rifle. I kind of got carried away. It's a good weapon. Spray and pray. This is another unique submachine gun. It fires explosive rounds. You get this from a wandering vendor. Forget the name exactly. Good weapon, especially with the explosive element on it. That one and unending attributes are two of the most sought after ones in Fallout 4. Stun baton. This is actually a regular police baton that you pick up in when you start the game, and you can put a stun pack on it, which makes it effective against robots. Super Sledge. It's a good weapon. I like it. It's another weapon I only use with power armor. Switchblade. There's a perk called Sandman. There's a perk that lets you make Sandman kills. You basically walk up to a target and you press the square button on the controller, and it performs a Sandman kill. And I have a suspicion that the weapon that the sole survivor uses is a switchblade, because it's a pretty small knife that they use. It's a good weapon. Syringer rifle. This actually fires custom ammunition that you can craft at the chem station. It doesn't use standard ammunition like all the other weapons do. The barrel breaks open right at that hinge there on the front, and you load the ammunition directly into the barrel. It's a good weapon. Tactical Tesla rifle. This is another weapon from the Automatron DLC. If I remember correctly, I think it was made from salvaged robot weapon arm parts. Arm weapon parts, rather. Excuse me. This one has a shotgun barrel on it. It's a nice weapon. Moderate damage. It works pretty good. Actually, it has substantial damage. The club. This was originally a lead pipe that I stuck some mods on, and then I renamed it the club. That's basically what you do. You walk up behind someone and you club them over the head with it. And say, "I'm going clubbing," while you're doing it. The Gainer. This is a unique revolver, 44 pistol, that I found in an underground room out by the coast. I forget exactly where. It's a good pistol. It sets your targets on. It does fire damage. It's an interesting element that it has. The Harvester. This is a unique Ripper from the Far Harbor DLC. Find it one in the attics of one of the settlements. The Striker. This, when I first heard about this, I was laughing like crazy. This was the most hysterical thing I've ever seen in my life. I kid you not, this is a modified Fat Man. This is a Fat Man that's been modified to launch bowling balls. It's just the funniest thing I've ever seen in my life. Thirst Zapper. This is a unique weapon from the Nuka World DLC. Get this right after you get through the gauntlet. A raider by the name of Gage tells you where to get it. You pull it out of a locker, and you can use it to help you in a fight against Colton, I think his name is. It starts with the C. I forget exactly how it's pronounced, but you basically use this to discharge his armor. When you first meet him, his armor is basically loaded with electricity, and so you have to use this to get rid of that so you can do damage to him. I actually watched a video where someone walked into that room with a Fat Man and just stood back and lobbed a mini nuke into his face. Oh well, all kinds of ways of taking him down. The Thompson M1A1 submachine gun. This is one of my favorite weapons in this game. The Thompson M1A1 is my favorite weapon. It's a really cool weapon, solid and reliable. It gets the job done. Throat Slicer. This is a unique Disciple Blade from the Nuka World DLC. Funny thing with this one is that I noticed that when I use it, it has more of a stab animation than a slashing animation, like you would get with a sword. I guess that's because it's a knife and not a sword, but oh well. Not complaining. Good weapon. Trail Carbine. This is a modified, renamed lever-action rifle from the Far Harbor DLC. The Trail Carbine was actually one of my favorite lever-action weapons in Fallout New Vegas. I just loved it. It just became one of my de facto. It just became a de facto long-range weapon in my loadout every time I went out. So when I finally got my hands on a lever-action rifle, I couldn't really think of a good name for it until I thought of the Trail Carbine. So I said, you know what? That's what you're going to be called, Trail Carbine. And that's why I called it. It's a good, solid, reliable weapon. It's got something of a reload animation issue. Other than that, it's a good weapon. I love it. Wasteland Spear. This is a pool cue with a knife blade on the strap to the tip. When I modded this up, I couldn't really think of a good name for it, and then I thought, you know what? It's a Wasteland Spear. That's what it's going to be called. So that's what I called it. Wasteland War Axe. This is actually a tire iron with a blade mod on it. Again, like the Wasteland Spear, I couldn't think of a really good name for it, so I thought, you know what? This looks like a war axe, so I'm going to call it that, but I'm going to take it one step further and call it the Wasteland War Axe. It's a really good weapon. I really like it. Western Revolver. I'm not exactly quite sure what kind of weapon this is. I don't know if it's a standard weapon or if it's a unique weapon. I have two of them so far. This is from the Nuka World DLC. It's basically got almost identical stats to the 44 revolver. Except one of the mods allows you to attach a knife blade to it. So, it's single action, like the 44 pistol. It's a good weapon, I like it. And that's it. That's all the weapons. Gonna end it on the AK and the BOS uniform, because that's become my favorite look. And that's it. Thanks for watching. Good night.